Horticulture.
Back at it again. It's the Photoculture Podcast. I have Lisa and Clark with me, and we have a special guest today, Phil the Mayor. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Ain't nothing, man. Another day, man.
How's this quarantine treating you?
I mean, pretty good. Especially, my background says that I'm somewhere in San Francisco, so it can't be that bad.
Did you see the video of that billionaire? I forgot his name. He was like on his yacht or something like that, like a 40 billion yacht or something like that. You guys didn't see that?
Fuck me. Hey, I'm on top of a mountain right now, so nobody can tell me. No one can tell me no right now. Lisa's in the clouds. You guys gotta get it together.
We gotta get it together, Clark.
Yeah, I know. Look at this. Oh yeah,
It's all good. It's all good.
Let's start at the beginning. So like, tell us where you from. How did you get to Miami? I don't know if you're born and raised in Miami, and we'll go from there.
So originally from New York, I came down about 96, 97 to Miami. I came on a one-way ticket from a parent. Mother said I wasn't doing that good in New York, so she sent me over here to figure it out life. She's like, just go do some summer school. I thought that came with a coming back ticket, which didn't. There was no coming back ticket. And I learned that the hard way. So I stayed in Miami that year of 96, 97. From there, I got into the business of the marketing business, the promotion business. I met my guy, Peter Thomas, which is like a mentor of mine, with the How Can I Be Down music conference, which was very big at that point in Miami. It was a big focal point for the industry, culture-wise, 100,000 people, every artist you could think of in South Beach at that point. And I was part of that conglomerate, realistically. And then, I was just a guy giving out flyers. And I figured out how to build relationships from there, which that's the key, is building the relationships. And that was 20 some odd years ago, and I'm still in it. So wow. That was like kind of my I had my little odd end jobs. I did even from being a waiter to doing, trying to figure it out, and it wasn't for me. Not saying it's not for everybody, but I like the hustle. So 20 some odd years later, I'm still hustling, not hustling backwards. I'm trying to hustle more for my family's future now. Before it was just about me. Now I have a son. He's 2 years old, so I want to make sure he's good and he has a legacy and he can, he could do his thing when he grows and, I get grandchildren one day. I don't know.
Congrats on your kid, man. Congrats on your kid. I forgot you had a son.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. That's my world right now. So it's pretty cool.
I know. Kids are the best.
At what moment when you was working those jobs that, like you just said, like a light bulb came in your head and said, this ain't for me?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the funniest story, right? So it was a brand new restaurant. I went to I was trying out to be a waiter, right? Nobody even knows this. So I try to be a waiter. I went for the first day of the grand opening, and they're like, you got to serve that table. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, there were two guests at that table that were pretty well known in the Spanish community, and the newscasters, right? They're pretty well known. Next thing I know, I get their table, I serve them their food, and once I go give them their bill, this is how I knew my life was going to change. I gave them my bill, and they paid me my money that I had to pay. And of course, there's a tip with that, right? And he goes in his pocket and he put 35 cents on the table. Wow. At that point, I took my apron off. I put the apron on the table and I said later, and I never had a job ever since. Now I was 18. So that
but you found your niche.
Hey, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to get hit with certain things so you could, get stronger. Maybe that was a catapult for me, to maybe that wasn't the niche I was supposed to go in. And it just made me feel like, there's bigger things out there for me. I want to own the restaurant. I don't want to work in the restaurant. I want to own the restaurant.
Right.
And that's how I got where I am now. It's trying to be lucrative in my community and with things that I do and trying to be somebody now.
Obviously your name is Phil. How did the Mayor come about?
So my guy, his name is Mike Lighty. He was managing this group called Mobb Deep at the point, right? And this was probably, I don't know, 2001.
Mobb
somewhere
Deep,
around that time.
the music artist.
Yep. Mobb Deep.
Well, you mean
Oh,
Chris
wow.
Lighty? Chris Lighty?
Chris Lighty's little brother, Mike Lighty.
Oh, wow, that's
So
crazy.
these are all good guys of mine, right? And
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
from
wow.
Queens, so Mobb Deep was a very big group that I was, I raised up to. And we were on South Beach one day, just walking on Ocean Drive, and he's like, "Yo, bro, everybody says what's up to you. Like, how is it that everyone knows you? Like, I don't get it." He's like, "You have to be called the mayor at one point." And since probably 2000, 2001, it just stuck. It sounded corny at the moment, but I don't know. 20 years later, it sounds all right to me.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Stuck.
It kind of stuck. It's kind of cool. So yeah,
Mobb Deep,
that was
man.
just props.
Yeah, that's man.
Yeah, good old days.
And how did you meet Mike? Because I know you're in Headliners marketing group too, right? You're the co-owner,
Right.
or
Yeah. So, Mike Gardner, that's his company, 100%. That's that's his baby. And me and Mike met, I want to say 2003-ish, around there. We were throwing parties in the same club that my man Peter Thomas used to own at that point, called Barcode.
oh,
And,
was it the Usher party?
Well, that's one of the parties. Like, that was the party where me and him got into it. Like, that's how we really met, the Usher party.
Yeah, I see something like that. I heard
So
something
this guy,
about that. Y'all was on the street or something like that, and then y'all was
this
like,
guy, he did the official. Yeah, let me make it clear. He did the official after party for I believe it was like Zoe Summer Groove during that time, and it was Usher doing his party. And it was I said, cool, let him do that. I'm gonna stay on the beach. He was over the bridge at Bongos, which is next to the arena back then, right?
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
So he had this big lavish ass party, and I'm like, I'm the kid on the block on the beach. I'm like, I'm gonna do the unofficial after party. So Clue was one of the DJs. I had him as my DJ, and I had the pictures of Usher and everybody on my flyer, like in the background.
Heavy
You couldn't
hitters,
really
man.
notice it.
Yeah.
I
DJ
tried.
Clue. Hey, all right.
Those are my guys. So he came afterwards, and he's like, basically, he stepped to me like, "What's up? How you throwing a party against me, and you throwing the fake party?" And I said, ever since then, we shook hands. We said, "Let's get going." It was just cool competition at the moment. He definitely had the higher up at that moment, but it was cool. We met from there, and we've been rocking ever since. That's my brother. So.
It's crazy because I come from a party background too. Right after I graduated high school, I was doing Gettys in the hotel room, and it was my birthday, so I did a birthday Getty in my hotel room, and then we all decided, me and my homie was like, you know what, this was fun. Let's do this every weekend. So we do it every weekend till we graduate, because like after like your last year in high school, there's like a couple of weeks till you graduate. My birthday's in May, so school ends in June. So we do that, and next year, people started hearing about it. Like, I guess my boys were texting guys and stuff like that. So people start coming knocking on the door, and I'm like, they see the girls in the room, so they're trying to come in, and I'm like, if they want to come in so bad, let me charge them. So I started charging them to come in, and it got so big and like so crazy that I was like, I need a venue. So I go to a venue, Club Palladium nightclub. You heard of that? They shut down now, but so I did them, and we started off with an all age party. And when I was trying to get the venue, I didn't realize the whole process, everything. I'm new. I'm like, I'm a fish, so I'm trying to get a good night. They're not giving me a good night. They don't give me no Fridays. They don't give me no Saturdays. So we had to do like a Sunday or a Monday or Thursday. Yeah. So we do that. So then we're talking about prices, and I'm like, dang, I didn't know it cost as much just to rent the venue. So they said, you know what? We'll give you a chance. Let's do we'll go 50-50 pretty much, but you don't got to put nothing down. You'll get a percentage after whatever. Well, it wasn't even 50-50. I forgot what the percentage was, but we got a percentage just to throw the party. They just want to see what we can do. Right. And next year, we started out the venue that first night, and then we started building a relationship with them. And with the money we made, we're like, we don't want to do a percentage no more. We want full price or 50-50. So the second party was 50-50. And then next year, we said, how much would it cost just to rent out the whole venue? Like, we don't want to break nothing off to you guys. And then we came up with a deal with that. And then after that, I started doing I did an Art Basel event in Linwood like 2-3 years ago. did that. Went from that to Art Basel event to a comedy show with DC on Fly, Chico Beans. And then, from that, I just started this podcast pretty much. We did take a loss, though, with Country Wayne. So that's another reason why I haven't really jumped back into that field yet, because that was like $20K down the hole. So I took that loss.
I know those feelings.
Yeah, so those hurt. And my partner at the time, it hurt him even worse. So I just been trying to get back up and handle things. And another thing on top of that, I had a kid like 2 years ago. So that's another reason why I kind of stepped back. Because I was like, I need to reevaluate myself. Thank you. I need to reevaluate myself and take care of my family, my son first, and get things rolling with this. And then I'm going to probably hop back on there. This coronavirus slowed everything down. So probably next year.
It's a different perspective when you have a child.
Yeah, you look at everything differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you have something to do something for, because now you got to leave something behind for your kids. Like you want them to have college paid for, a car, a home, your grandkids. Oh, I got 3.
It's different. Before, I just wanted to enjoy life, do what all single guys do and have fun and, take over everything. And then I went through that whole process of now having like a family. And it changed my whole perspective in life. Like not only did it give me a restart button because I got to like start brand new and fresh again, but then with the corona that just came in, it's like a full halt. And it was like a straight cleanse. Like this to me is like it's a reset button, but it's for the greater good, right? So not only in business, but in life and health, mentally, everything now is like everything is brand new, fresh. Nobody's bigger than the next person. We could all start at the same playing level. And it's just like, what do you make out of this time now is what really counts. So there's people I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. Now is the perfect time to do everything you want to do.
That is
true. I'm not gonna lie, this coronavirus, some people are saying it's hell and it's like they don't know what to do, like you said. But to me, to be honest, I feel like like you said, a restart button just happened. Like I just clicked the restart. Right. And I'm just like, I'm moving. Like, I don't really think it affected me that much. Besides, like, I don't think, because I'm really blessed. I don't think anybody in my family had the coronavirus. Nobody's sick. Everybody's healthy.
And see, that's the main thing, right? Once your mental is right and your physical is right, then all you got to do is just build on your spiritual, right? So once you're close to God, you're close to your family, then you start asking, all right, what's next? Yeah, everybody's about money, how do I take care of these bills, whatever the case is. But I look at it like, even though we're shut down for right now, the comeback is going to be so much greater, so much bigger. There's going to be, I think, an abundance of the money, an abundance of work. People are like, we don't have work right now, but I guarantee you that there's going to be so much hiring that they're going to be trying to tell people, we can't hire you. We got too much people working right now. And I think that's going to be the good about this. It's now for us, like the creatives that we are, to put our minds together and look for the other stuff to do. Because there's so many opportunities out there. We just have to find them. That's all. You have to take the time to find it. So.
I agree.
Do you know Miami CJ?
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, that's pretty much, I knew him since I was like, I knew him for 10 years.
Yeah, actually, I know him for a minute. Good dude.
Yeah, he pretty much, like, I guess when I started throwing the parties, he was kind of like a little mentor for me too. So,
yeah, he's solid. He's definitely been in the game for a while. He's definitely been around the right people for a long time. So yeah, he's a solid guy.
I need to get myself out. I feel like everyone I'm like, I've never even been to LIV. Not even on a Sunday. And listen, you LIV on Sunday.
You in the clouds right now, so you halfway in already.
Oh my God. I ain't gonna lie. I've been there once, and Miami CJ brought me there for my birthday on a Sunday.
Dope. What was your experience like?
I liked it. To be honest with you, if some people, like, I had a friend, people think that when you say tables, they mean actual tables at South Beach clubs. It's not tables, it's couches.
No, they're not. They're just like sofas, right?
Yeah, it's couches.
Yeah, no, that much.
So that's
I'm a New Yorker,
so there's a lot of people, Phil, you'll be surprised. A lot of people that don't know what's really going on in this nightlife in Miami South Beach.
And then LIV doesn't even count as Miami South Beach. Like, that's a different experience. Like, I always treat it like Disney World. Like, every time you go in there, it's Disney World. It's like the lights,
it's the experience.
The women. It's a whole different experience. Like,
I need to
and
go
it's
now.
cool because
I feel officially deprived.
Well, you kind of sort. Don't worry.
I haven't been either.
You haven't been there, Clark?
No, I've been to the other ones.
Oh, look at you all quiet over there.
No, but I've been to Club 50, but at Club 50 wasn't like, I don't know if you ever heard of Club 50. It was up like up in the penthouse.
On the roof.
Yeah, on the roof. Yeah. So
I used to do parties there a long time ago.
Oh, that's crazy.
But it was dope. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was fly.
Yeah.
Super fly. At the Viceroy.
Yes, yeah. You drive up on that. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Go 50 floors up. Yeah.
But a different experience. That was a totally different monster.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah.
You guys are making me feel a little young because I don't even know what Club 50 is.
Nah.
I was in New York then, so I probably did. No clue.
Don't worry, man. We're gonna take a field trip one of these days. We'll take a field trip.
Yeah, I'm down.
That's it. We're gonna get all the followers to come and meet us in the corner, and we're just gonna walk in.
Yeah.
Tough.
How do you deal with because we both do parties before. How do you deal with people that you haven't heard from in years or decades, and they start calling you that night of the party? Like, how do you deal with those people?
Well, me personally, I dislike it because I know what it is. So, like, I remember getting them phone calls on Sunday at 9 p.m. Be like, hey, what you doing tonight? I'll be like, nah, I'm just chilling. I'm staying home. You know, what are you doing tonight? Like, what's your plan? I heard about the spot. Of course you heard about the fucking spot. You were there last week. You know what's going on. But those people, man, they come out the woodworks. They only come during a period of time. Like, it's crazy, right? Like, these last 8 weeks, 2 months and a half, if my phone hasn't rung for nothing. Like, it's only mattered, the people that have called me is my family or my immediate, like, for business or, like, the people I need to call me. Before, you get random phone calls, texts, all type of crazy shit that you don't even know. People you don't even know. Like, I got your number from so-and-so, and I'm like, oh, man, no more. I'm straight. Now I got, like, my own caller ID. Like, I don't need to pick up your phone. I'm not picking it up. I'm straight.
Yeah, it got to the point where I just turn my phone off when I'm having a party because you got to go see me inside. I don't even want to be out front because they start giving you stories and they start trying to make you feel bad. It's like, yo, this is the business, man.
I love that part. Now, see, I'm usually the one that's in the front because I like that interaction talk. I like, to people press people's buttons, and I'd rather be the one to tell you, no, your money ain't good enough. Or, yes, I want all your money, So, but, I get it. That staying inside away from the people, them stories come out. Listen, so-and-so that knows you, that knew him, told me to ask for this, and it's my birthday, and then, sisters, nah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now it's your birthday today, huh? Yeah, that was your birthday today. I thought your birthday was 2 months ago.
Yeah, well, cool. Here's the cash register, pay, and I'll let you know how it works.
Charge them $100 at the door, $200 at the door.
$100 off the rip. It's your birthday.
And it's so much harder for guys. I remember I did it for a little bit in New York for a few clubs up there, and it was like girls, quick and easy to get in there. Guys, it was like pulling teeth.
Well,
man,
that's funny because when we used to go to the club, because my boy used to work for Ultra, he used to promote for Ultra. So literally, I'm not gonna lie, it would be like 10% guys and the whole rest, 90% is female. And when we go up to the club, they're like, yo, who you with? Like, yo, look at us over here. Yeah. Got like all these chicks, they're like, okay, come in, boom. We in there. Usually get in for free.
Crazy enough now, the tables have turned. Now there's more male groupies than women groupies. Wow. So you have, I'll give you an example, like you could be a table and it's your birthday, right, Clark? And you got your people, everybody that's on this chat right now. Next thing you know, each of us bring one friend. They all pull out their phones, look at my table. Here come the bottles. They're promoting it to their friends like they spent all the money, and you be like, I don't even know this person.
That's so true.
You can't even tag me.
I seen that. Yeah.
I haven't been.
And the person that bought the bottle, he's not even recording most of the time.
No, he's just
or tagged.
He's just sitting. He's just sitting. He's just saying, poor guy, man. And trust me, I've been there, so I know.
What's the crazy experience you had, man? Like as far as with like promoting, especially for celebrities and so forth. Like, what's the craziest? Was it like was there a time limit, or was it like just being at the venue, trying to get people in and so forth? Or
I think it's more on the artist being demanding when they want certain things, right? I think
Yeah, I
the
hate that.
the throwing the party is kind of like, you know, we grew up and so we kind of know the ins and outs of throwing the party. It's
Mhm.
when you're dealing with celebrities and their entourages and their friends and their girlfriends, and this is
Right,
what I
and
want
the
to start being
laws
demanding.
water
Listen,
over Fiji.
you're right. I'm like, listen, man, I want this green room. I got 18 cars, valet, you know, make sure the security, all that becomes all girly stuff, and it gets tough because you also want to maintain the relationship. So you don't want to be saying no all the time. You know, you want to keep them at bay, but not so they keep on trying to use you. Because that's all. Remember,
Right.
as a promoter, we're paying these artists to be there. They're not coming for free. They're not doing me a favor. They're charging me like they charge every other person, right? And all I'm doing is selling the experience to the crowd. Like, here's your artist. This is what I told you I was going to have. And now it's the job of the artist to fulfill his agreement, which is either perform or be there and, you know, enjoy the crowd. But sometimes they get so iffy. Like, I don't want a camera on me. I don't want a microphone. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I went through the
Have you
same thing.
encountered where like you have, you know, somebody who's supposed to perform, say, for a venue, and then they just end up not performing, and you ever deal with that backlash?
100 times. It happens all the time because it's their mood. So you can't tell an artist if he's not feeling well that day and he's just pissed off because his girl caught him or whatever the shit. He's like, I ain't performing. I ain't doing nothing. And we've had a lot of those cases. They'll come in there, they'll order all these bottles and walk out 20 minutes later.
wow,
I'm like, damn. Like, you already done paid them, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's not like they're going
Yeah.
to the
Right.
to get your money back.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I had experiences where the celebrity would tell me that they need in their green room, they need Jolly Ranchers, like simple little things, and I'm like, yo, you can't go buy that or eat that yourself. Like,
Send your henchmen
Yeah.
to get it. Yeah.
I want yellow towels and pink sheets. Trust me,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
dumb
Or
shit.
It's like,
only the
yo.
red M&Ms.
I feel bad
exactly.
for the manager. I feel bad for the manager because it's like you're their dad or mom. Like, you have to baby them.
Yep. And remember, the manager has the road manager that has an assistant that has another person that's helping them out, and they're all running with their heads cut off. Like, damn, we got to please this one artist before, you know, or else he ain't paying us.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like making the band when Diddy has them run around New York to get them cheesecake.
Cheesecake. It's exactly
I will never forget that.
That's an all-time favorite right there.
Oh yeah.
So crazy.
I wanted to ask you this too. I seen like DJ Envy and the DJs come together to like raise money around this time. Why haven't somebody done that for the promoters yet? Like, why haven't the promoters come together and do that?
It's funny enough that you said that. We were talking about that just a few weeks ago of trying to put a coalition together.
Mm-hmm.
But with the things that are moving so fast right now and reopening, people, I feel like they got overwhelmed so many times. There's so many, we want first responders. We want to take care of these people, that people. But nobody wanted to take care of nightlife people, which is not even the promoter only. It's the waiter, the waitress, the busboy, the bartender, the valet guy, the people that clean the bathrooms and when you're walking out. All these people, they worked on getting these day-to-day paychecks, you know, from just party goers. And now, you know, some of them got families. They were living, you know, they had to pay their bills, their rents. So it's way tougher for them. And there was no help. The government ain't helping those people, right? So we were trying to come up with a little situation where we came up like a fundraiser for them, which is still in the talks. It just hasn't been perfected to the right way because you don't want money to be misled and sent where it doesn't need to be sent, right?
I agree.
You want the right people to touch that money and it's benefiting for a real cause, not just because we quote unquote, like we're just raising money, you know, because people are going to be like, oh, that's money's for you, for your pocket.
Right.
I never want to hear that type of backlash. Like whatever cent, we want to be able to give it to the right people. So,
exactly.
So,
I agree.
God willingly, I think it's going to work. And, you know, more slowly but surely that we're getting back in the mix, I think people are going to, you know, be more assessed to doing things like that and thinking to helping.
That's true.
So,
I agree. What's your thoughts on the nightlife or in concerts after the corona?
They're trying to do BET Awards virtually. I saw that.
Virtually, it's a big thing. You know, the big nightclubs, unfortunately, because we need capacity, the future is nowhere near right now. It's very dim for the big places, right? So in my mind, if I had to really think about it, I would think, I don't know, October, like to be on a safe side, like towards the end of the year. It's realistic because there's two things. You want to be safe and you want people to trust you, right? I'm not going nowhere if I can't trust the location or if I don't feel safe to be healthy, you know? And I think that's what the world is going to come to, is built on trust and safety right now. So I think the nightlife is gonna have to do a whole 360. The nightlife could be on this phone right now. People are gonna be streaming parties for, you know, paying to be in sections from their house. And
that's gonna be so
it.
weird. Hey, Clark, I got a bottle. Hey,
they got cameras set up. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's it. I'm gonna have my own sparklers. I'm cool. You know, but believe it or not, quarantine. There you go. But think about it, right? Zoom is almost like a club. I've seen birthday parties with 20, 30 people on a Zoom, and everyone's drinking from their house, having fun. And it's been the most interaction ever, and it's been safe, fun interaction. Like, I walk in and I see a Zoom party in my crib. I'm like, what the fuck is this? 30 people getting drunk. They're like, all right, we're going to sleep now. We're going to sleep. I'm like, what? So it might be cool. Like, if there's an artist that's performing from their house to a selected group of audience, it might work. It might work.
I know. Like, who was it one person, like, you know, that wanted you to promote for them, or you were working with that? Have you ever got starstruck, or like kind of like you're like, oh man, I gotta do, you know, or you just like, that's a regular person, like you're like whatever, you know what I'm saying?
I think I'm immune to that already, you know what I mean? Because I've been with every celebrity I could possibly think of in life, you know what I mean? I've seen them all. I've been around them all. I've paid most of them. I've hung out. I've been in parties with other celebrities, you know. But there's never been like that one celebrity, like I was like, oh shit, like that's who I want to be around, you know?
Not even Michael Jackson?
The where?
Not even Michael Jackson?
I mean, those are the difference. You know what I mean? If I could be in a room with a Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? That's a different world right there. Like, shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get around the Michael Jacksons. But, you know, I knew a few Michaels and a few Jacksons.
Close enough.
Close enough, man. Close enough.
All right. I actually seen that you guys were, I don't know if you guys are still currently working on it, but Harlem Square. So my Sadiq, which is the owner of House of Wings, so you got to give a big plug to House of Wings. Overtown in Miami, one of Miami's #1 wing spots, you know, catered, you know, amazing place. So everybody go make sure to check out House of Wings, and it's in the Overtown area. And Harlem Square is right down the block in Overtown, which is a major project with Mike and the city that they put together. They've been manicuring it for a few years now, and I think it's going to be coming into fruition. I mean, right now it's kind of, you know, slowed down because of what's happening, but I see another year. Within the year, it'll be up and running, God willingly, and it's going to be something very, very beautiful. Cigar lounge. It's going to be for the grown folks. Something sexy for the city.
Nice.
So I think that's going to be super, super dope. It's definitely a headliner market group, super venture.
And what about the documentary that you guys are working on too? What's the update on that?
The update is it's coming very soon, especially because of this is going on. My guy Mike has definitely been, and my guy Shaq, they've been on the computer. They're doing what they're doing.
Putting in the work.
Boy, those guys, they're monsters right now. So they're getting it done. It'll be out, and it's gonna give a lot of light and a lot of great. It's gonna be a great piece to give out to the community and to the culture, and to basically it's a global. We're not looking at it as a local documentary. It's a global documentary. People are gonna want to see the day in a life of headliner, of Mike Gardner, of the things that have happened in the last 10, 15 years in Miami, how this whole shit started. And when people get to see that, it's going to be another something special.
Wow.
How would you
excited
describe?
to watch that.
Yeah, me too. How would you describe, like in one word, or describe the process from the beginning to now to where you're at right now?
One word. Humbling. Humbling, because I didn't know what I was going to be 20 years ago. You know, I don't know if I was supposed to still be here. What was my big plan at that time? And now, like I said, having a family definitely changed my life. And, you know, searching myself and I think mastering the craft of what I like to do. I'm a people person. I like giving a person the experience and everything we've done. So not only in the party aspect, but I have the clothing line, doesn't even matter. We've jumped into, like, everyone has their own businesses. I have, like, just opened up my coffee shop, Hardin. I have my clothing store, Appointment Only. So everybody has, like, own little niches, and it's dope because it all comes down a lifestyle, right? So from clothes to food to apparel to the parties, it's all one big lifestyle that we all live. And it's nice to be part of that, you know? Not a lot of people get to live and enjoy your job. I get to enjoy it. I love what I do.
I feel like that's the most important thing too.
Yeah. Let's talk about the clothing line you just brought up, and then the coffee and Appointment Only. Let's start with the clothing line, denim. Does it even matter?
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Started about 6 years ago. About 6 years ago with my other partner, Mike from Brooklyn. I'm stuck with a bunch of Mikes. Pause. You know, it's a bunch of guys, man. So we started the clothing line. It was a super dope concept. You know, it's more of a mission statement. Doesn't even matter. It's a way of life and how we think, how we go about our day to day. You know, a lot of people were like, you know, we don't have a nightclub. We can't party outside. We can't do certain things while we're stuck in COVID. But does it really even matter? You know, what matters to me is my health, my sanity, my mental, my family. So, you know, it's been a big mission statement, and just enforcing it that, you know, it's something that you could preach, you know, and I think it's been fairly well. We've had every major celebrity wear the clothing line. It's been on numerous tours, and that was a cool part of it, that it was done organically. It was never like, here, hold my shirt and take a picture. It was actually artists calling like, yo, send me a package. I want to wear it. I need my tour to be this and that. And that's what was kind of special about it, because it's nice, especially with like an Instagram, where you see DMs of people like in, I don't know, I'll just say Ohio. They send you a picture like, hey, I'm at a bar and there's a guy wearing your t-shirt. It's so dope. Like, waking up to calls like that makes it all worthwhile. So now we're just leveraging and making a little more. We just did our masks right now. So we did a bunch of masks that we sold, and we gave about 1,000 normal surgical masks to like first responders in New York. So for every mask that they will buy from our site, we'll give away 50. So we were trying to help out at the same time. Yeah, we were just trying to, you know, stay in reach and help out. So it's just not a monetary thing, but it's also like us helping in some way, you know, in any way that we could. So that's the story about does it even matter. It's pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
So how did you start the coffee shop? What made you want to start a coffee shop?
That was more
I love coffee.
Coffee's cool, right? So I really didn't know about the coffee business till my girl got me into coffee. I would wake up, yo, I gotta go to work, buy me a coffee. I'm like, fuck is all this shit? Like, I hate it, right? But you know, once you get on that Starbucks
leave it to
line,
us.
right? You get on that Starbucks line, and then you're like, damn it, I'm stuck.
It changes your world.
It changes your world, right? So then I started like doing some homework on it, and I saw that it's a very lucrative business. There's a lot of upsell on it, and you know, the benefit on it's very well. So I decided just to come in where I have my business and my clothing line store. I opened up the Hardin, which is on the same block. So I have my clothing store, there's the marketing company there, and then there's Hardin, a coffee shop. So I wanted to make it more like a very cool lounge, right? So you could come and just kick back, you know, it's more for creatives. That's how I set it up. So it's very creative driven, and it's, you know, it's something cool. And I think coffee is part of our culture now, you know, and it's actually a cool culture because you get to meet all walks of life, either there for business, to relax, just for a conversation.
Right.
It becomes very it's very nice.
So what's
to be part
the
of
thing
that,
behind the name? Is that like Spanish? Is that just
so
a version or a type of coffee bean?
No, well, so what it is, it started as so it was a big cement block. It was a big cement box. I added the greenery and like the, to get the positive vibes going. I wanted to get the trees in there and the palms. And then I just started getting a little more into it, maybe a little too much into it. I felt like I could build a garden in that place. So,
Get the jardín. Got it.
There you go. So I kind of jumped in with that one. And then we just opened up our own coffee bean. So we're now going to be servicing online subscriptions and selling our actual own coffee bean, which is called the Jardín Coffee, which is made in Colombia.
That's awesome.
And we're going to be selling subscriptions to, worldwide and getting
I'll
that
make
out
sure
there.
I get one. I need some of that in my life.
Done. I got y'all, for real.
Yeah, I'm gonna support either way. I don't even drink coffee, but I support it because I like supporting another brother.
Coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee,
man.
Yeah, that's dope.
Don't worry, I was the same way. I ain't drink coffee, and it just took that one thing.
You gotta find the one you like, how you like it, and once you do, it's a wrap,
Yeah, but everybody I know that try to get off of coffee, they act like they're drug addicts, bro. They got headaches, migraines.
No.
Yeah, so I'm just doing membership basis, starting to within next 2 weeks, I'll be able to be servicing people via our website, which is the Jardín Coffee. And, you can make subscription memberships. You could buy it wholesale. I could private label your own coffee, make you your own, basically your own type of coffee. So it's going to be like a whole company based on that, where we can help people create their own stuff and also drink our product.
That's crazy how your girl pretty much like inspire you to start get into the coffee business.
Ain't that some shit, man?
She probably asked you, you need to break her off something.
Inspiring from a lot of things, Sometimes you just need that little push, I feel like I've done the same thing for like my husband and vice versa, I think if you find that person, you're good. If you need that, if you don't have anybody that's inspiring you to do anything more than what you're already doing with yourself now, then it's kind of just like you're just coasting,
Right. It's inspiration is definitely good from all angles. So having a good support system at home definitely helps out for what your future endeavors and stuff that you're going through. So that definitely.
What they say, every great man have a woman behind them.
It's true. It's definitely true. Even if it's a mother or a grandmother or a wife or whatever the case is, a solid woman is really what it is. Because there's a lot of women that are out there, but
they're not all good.
They're not support systems. They're just somebody that's there for you at the moment.
Did you have to deal with that, like before your girl, like you coming up, because you in the nightlife? Did you have to did you have pay attention to which girl was there for you or just there for the hype?
Man, listen, man. As crazy as it seems, right? So I was married for a minute. Not for a minute, for a long minute. So I was for 11 years.
Oh,
while being in this nightlife. So it was definitely a awakening experience. The good thing is that when I first got with my ex-wife, it was from day one. I let her know what it was, and there was an understanding from day one. I mean, there has to be transparency and trust and all that type of love and all that stuff. And then, of course, it didn't work out. So I moved on, and it was great. And then I met my girl that I'm with now, and it's been amazing ever since. Beautiful son, life is great. Can't complain. Things is looking on the up and up right now. So.
Yeah, I had a problem trying to balance my life and like the nightlife and with my girl, because I get caught up sometimes where I just get like caught up in the world of like hustling, but then you sometimes as a man you forget that you got to spend. I'm pretty sure Lisa could attend to this. You got to spend time with her too and spend time with the family, especially if you have a kid or something like that. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs go through that. I think they have a problem trying to balance everything because they're always on like green light. They're always on go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think owning your own business is just like a natural thing because it is your business. That's your baby. That's what you do. I mean, we own our own business, so same thing. It's like there's not really a sleeping night, you know, you don't really, there's no time to sleep, you know, it's whether it's the website, appointments, you know, checking on supplies, cleaning, especially with this pandemic, making sure, like, I know after clients, I have to take my clothes off, take a shower. I don't wear the clothes in my house, wash my hair, like whole genre of things that I've got to get done before. Yeah, and I think that, you know, when you do own a business and stuff, there's no sleep, there's no chill mode. You have to go, you know, if not, nobody's going to go for you, you know. Your employees don't care as much as you do. Your mom and dad aren't going to care as much as you do, you know. So no, I personally understand, but that's because we're in a mutual
Yeah, I was about to say that. I see
him
that.
bust his ass, so I don't complain. I don't say anything. I just support 100% because I get it. So I'm like, you gotta work, baby. You gotta work, because when I gotta work, I gotta work. So.
Right. And it's good when both have each other's back. That's what makes it better. Yeah. There's no one bigger than somebody else in the household. I'm the breadwinner, this and that. No, we're mutual. We're in this house together, and that means we just got to work as hard. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, my girl probably doesn't have to work. You know, she could do whatever the hell she wants, but she wants to have her own. And I'm a person of, you work, whatever, that's all yours. That's you. You know, you went to school for that. You earned your rank. You know what you want in your life. So I'm not going to be the person to stop that. I'm going to be the person to applaud it and be like, all right, well, keep going. Just like how I want that person to be with me. You know, keep going, pushing me to be bigger, better, because it's only going to help our situation at the end of the day.
I noticed that, see how Lisa, you have business like background. When you're dealing with a woman that don't want to, like, she don't have, like, understand entrepreneurship and like don't own her own business, she don't tend to understand what you're really going through.
Yeah. I agree.
The younger generation.
Till I did, you do kind of think, you know, oh man, they're always work. And, you know, you work a normal 9 to 5, you know, in an office for somebody else. And you're just like, I get a set paycheck. So I don't really see reach the negative part of whether I don't show up or whether I call out because I still get PTO or benefits or whatever the case may be, you know. So it isn't, you know, until I got into that field myself that I really got to understand and just say, okay, shut the fuck up, go to work, you know, let him go to work. Like, you know, you can't, who the hell are you to say anything, you know? So, no, I completely agree with that statement.
This coronavirus, it should open a lot of people's eyes too, like to like go do entrepreneurship. Like a lot of people got laid off and a lot of people got treated poorly and not fairly by these companies. And it shows you like
furlough,
it shows you like, well, I hope that it opens people's eyes and let them see like, dang, I need to do something like for my family. Like I need to start something. I need to do something.
But this is the perfect time for us to do that. So there's nobody stopping us from being creative. There's nobody telling us that we can't do nothing. Right now you have 24 hours a day to do something. You know what I'm saying? So we all could start blogs. We could start all type of things that we never thought. Put it this way: 3 months ago, we probably didn't have time to start anything that we really wanted to. Now you have nothing but time to start everything you want to.
Oh, for sure.
If you don't want to go to
my husband just created these exhaust caps for like the, you know, speeding cars with turbos and stuff that have the exhaust and it rains and they get wet. We bought a 3D. Well, he bought a 3D printer, got really creative, and came up with the covers for the exhaust, blown up overnight. Right. Literally.
Wow, that's
these
pretty
little
creative.
Tiny covers just for an exhaust, and I'm like, what?
All with a 3D
printer. And I'm telling you, the thing like literally like prints a full object. I'm still blown away. I didn't know these machines actually work that way. You know what I mean? They say 3D printers, and you're thinking like a 3D piece of paper. You know, no, it's like a physical object.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's so dope. But
so if anybody needs an exhaust cap.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna find you in the clouds and get the exhaust cap. Send us the PO box address.
Absolutely.
I actually want to talk about your store appointment only too.
Right.
So how did that start? Like, what made you start that and the name? like the name is actually what it means, right? Like appointment only.
Yeah. So started that about 4 years ago. It started as an appointment only store. So it was basically it was a showroom, and I was tired of going. Well, I wasn't tired because I liked it. So when you go like to Saks and you go like to these expensive stores, they would close off a certain area for you. They'll give you your champagne. They cater to you, bring you all your sizes and all that. So I wanted to create the same exact experience, but for a streetwear lifestyle, right? So yeah, it might not be Versace or Chanel but we were doing all the Supreme, all the cool culture shit. I had my clothing line. So we were showcasing a lot of local brands and a lot of brands that don't get the big light, and letting like artists come into the store and be like, all right, I want the store for a couple of hours. I want to take some photo shoots, and I have my manager's going to come and handpick with my stylist and shit for my videos. And that's how it kind of like started. And next thing you know, it just kind of like grew and grew, and we made it bigger. Then we made it appointment. It started as appointment only showroom, and then we made it appointment only gallery. So we added a gallery part to it. So we were showcasing art and luxury art from local artists and renowned artists also. So we did the clothing and the art at the same time.
Yeah, it's a dope area from the pictures. I've never been there, but I've seen the pictures. I might talk to you when I'm ready for an Art Basel event and get something like that.
Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to be this year, though.
I think
I want to actually enjoy Art Basel. I always get stuck working Art Basel that I never get to enjoy it. Like last year I got stuck working the Sunday service and, men's swim for Drea and all that. So I feel like maybe this year I'll get to enjoy. I got invited to so many parties, but I was just so tired. I'm like, no, gotta wake up at 3 a.m. to go to work.
This is your time. This is your year. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, now I'm like, I gotta not be stuck in a box and the clouds, guys. Gotta get out the clouds.
For your clothing brand, are you actually the one designing it, or like
my partner does?
Oh, your partner does.
We came up with the idea of he designs, I market. Right. So I'll promote.
Nice partnership.
And I don't touch his toes. He doesn't touch my toes. But we definitely, get in the middle and ask questions like, all right, do we think this is good? Should we try this more? Maybe we should up it up. He has designs that I'll be like, all right, this is dope. Maybe we should do this and that. And it's a perfect partnership when you're not crossing each other, and everybody has a responsibility. So it's just like in the promoting game, everybody has to have a responsibility. If you have everybody doing the same thing, it's never going to work.
Right.
Too many ingredients in the pot.
Too many.
What advice would you give your younger self? Like if you used to talk to your younger self right now, what advice? Would you change anything, or would you just keep it the same?
I think that's tough. That's a tough one, because I would like to say I want to keep it the same because I haven't lost, right? I haven't got lost in the sauce. So I don't believe that I'm on some high pedestal somewhere. I still feel like I'm still growing and I'm still learning. So even though the nightlife, people might think, oh, it's just parties, this and that. There's more than just the party, right? There's an integral part where there's how you promote, how do you, like you were saying earlier, how you get your venues, how do you talk to people, how do you establish relationships, and how do you get people to come and pay you to party where it's usually free, right? So think about it. You could turn on your radio and dance for free. I'm asking you to pay me to come do that, right?
Right.
But the difference is that I'm giving you an experience behind it. So my younger self, I would just say, just keep working. Never quit. There's no such thing as no, and there's no such thing as quitting, right? Because when you quit and you just stop, that means the next guy behind me is ready to go. And I don't want to let go of something I work for. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I think that's really what it is. It's just, you just got to keep grinding. This whole shit is about grinding. And it's not only in nightlife, it's in any business you do. You want to have the #1 podcast, #1 blog, #1, you got to keep being ahead of the curve. You got to keep on showcasing yourself and implementing new every day, because there's somebody that's younger than you that has 8 computers in their household doing absolutely nothing, trying to do bigger than you. So I want to be #1 at everything I do.
Right.
What's your thoughts on this too? I was listening to my friend and his girl, they're arguing, and he was she was saying that you can never do one thing. You're always trying to do something. Like he goes to something else and then something else and something else. But in my head, I'm looking at it like he's just hustling. He's trying to grind. Like, what is your
I
thoughts
think there's
on that?
nothing wrong with being a jack of all trades, especially now during the pandemic. You know what I mean? I feel like it's good to be able to do multiple different things.
But it's also about prioritizing, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have 10 things and you're focusing on all 10 things, one of them is going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
I'm more into all right, if you have 10 things, go one by one, master it, get it out the way, move on to the next one. Master it, get out the way, because you're never going to be able to put 100% strength into anything because you're spreading yourself across the board. Now, mm-hmm. I want to be involved in everything I can because I don't want to miss a beat. But then, I also want to be able to secure each bag. You understand? I want to make sure my coffee shop is right. That's out the way. I want to make sure my clothing is right. Because I don't think I'm going to be a promoter for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? That's not what I want to do. And there's bigger things in my future that I want to do. So these are all just like little layers from my bigger picture. So, if it's from the retail to the clothing to the nightlife, it's all about building my blocks. And that's all I'm doing right now. Just continue building blocks, but prioritizing those blocks.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a promoter?
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a promoter or entrepreneur? Like people because to me, a promoter is somebody that's not the one getting the venue and stuff like that. I mean, you're promoting, but like I feel like you're more of an entrepreneur, not a promoter.
Yeah, entrepreneur in the business sense, right?
Yeah.
I call it as it is. I'm a promoter because that's what it was called, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. A nightlife connoisseur or whatever you want to make it. Just classier ways to make it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still on the grind. Like there's no stopping me. I'm still giving out the flyers. I'm still doing the door. I'm still going in the club. I'm still inviting the people. So I'm not just. I don't want to be just a label, right?
Right.
Now in the party, there's a host, there's a VIP host, there's a sub promoter, there's the model host. There's so many different niches now that come into throwing parties. That is crazy. Now we have phones. Before it was just straight flyers. We gave out flyers, and then we had fucking Facebook maybe, and then some different little text blast. That was it. Now you can just throw a party from your phone, and everybody's a promoter now, right?
That's true.
Nobody really wants to do that real work. Nobody's putting up any money. Nobody's losing any money. They're just going to the club saying, hey, I could bring you 20 girls, pay me $300. And now they're considered some hot shit. And, they get the free liquor. So every girl in the world is like, oh, he's the man. That's it. Or
I'm not going to lie. A promoter is a salesman to me. Like, the salesman at a dealership. Yeah. That's what a promoter is really. Because they put up this type of image that make them look like they got it. And then when you actually meet them, some of them are broke as hell, living check by check, and it's like,
it's
wow.
Tough. It's tough. But you know what? I learned not to even diminish those guys, because at the end of the day, you want all those guys to help you implement stuff for you, right?
Yeah, I
agree. As little as they are, they still are part of a big scheme. You know what I mean? So
and everybody starts at the bottom.
Shit. I was giving out flyers when I started, and I'm still giving out flyers. Like,
I
don't mind it. I don't mind it. The work part is the fun part for me. You know what I mean? I'm usually the first one that gets to the club, and I'm probably the last one that leaves the club, always. And it's just because it's in me. Those are the things that I like to do. Some people just like to come and drink and just chill, but that's their vibe. You know what I mean? But in partnerships and people that you have, everybody plays a certain position, right? And I think that's what team is. A team has to be able to run points from your door to your register to the inside to building the relationship with the artist or the clients that you have inside. So everybody has to have a certain position to make it successful.
I agree. Me and Lisa was kind of talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Like you can't just have you can't have one person not putting in work, but everybody else is putting in the work. It's not gonna. It's like a car. Like one part is bad, the whole car is gonna probably act up.
So once the engine blows, the engine blows.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to it.
Yeah, I think if you just you start from the bottom and you gotta stick together. Everybody's gonna put in work, equal work. Everybody's got their niche. So I feel like if you split the responsibility or split the project, whatever it is that you're working on, you know, evenly, and everybody puts in their part, then I think, like, you know, sky's the limit for most people.
Yeah, and then eventually, you know, if everything works out, then you're successful. And in this nightlife, you know, there's more losses than wins, realistically. This is like the stock game. It goes up and down. You know, we throw parties, and next thing you know, it rains the night of. You lose everything. Yeah. You know, stuff that you can't control, you know, but what you can control is your work ethic. That's what you can control. And then, you know, people respect that.
You're not pretty tech savvy yourself, are you?
Definitely not.
Yeah, I think I seen you say something about you was like you didn't know how to go on live or something like that. Yeah.
Remember, I text you that. I'm like, man, there's certain things like, man, they be sending me Zooms, and I'm like, all right, so what am I supposed to do with this?
Click on.
Like I'm still old school, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to write shit with paper and pen. All this like
I do too.
I just feel like it's safer. I don't know. I like pen and paper.
Because then if yeah, I mean, your phone breaks or whatever, it goes to the cloud. I don't believe that. Not everything goes to the cloud. You lose stuff.
You lose stuff.
I write everything on pen. I still have like an old address book with old phone numbers and addresses and stuff. You never know when you're gonna need them, you know.
But I'm learning though. Let's not get it twisted. I'm definitely getting more tech savvy now. So now I know what Zoom really is, and I'm on it.
You gotta adapt, man. You gotta adapt to it, man.
Gotta adapt, man. This is good. This is the good fundamentals of adapting.
True. What's your thoughts on what's your thoughts on the 5G thing? Have you heard about that yet?
That's with the like the phone, all that type of stuff, like all the 5G towers that they're building everywhere.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
I hear about it, but I don't really pay that much attention to it because I started hearing stuff that coronavirus was built off 5G and the 5G was doing a bunch of stuff to get people sick. And I'm like, listen, man, the conspiracy theories is everywhere. You know,
I just need this over with. Whatever it is, I just need it over.
Whoever started it, how it started, as long as it's finished, I'm cool with it. It could have been a turtle for all I care. Let this shit stop already. Like, all right, let's get back to life and getting back to what we normally do, so we could keep on.
I know it's like I'm over here like having a low key like sneeze attack from my cat because I'm allergic to her, but I still love her. I'm one of those like fur animal lovers, you know. I'm allergic, but I still keep you. So I'm like, achoo.
No, man, this ain't the right place to be sneezing.
Yeah, she might have it.
Man,
I caught Rose. He was coughing one time, and I'm like,
put you in quarantine.
Find out.
No way. What's your take on 5G?
My take
on y'all?
Well, let's start with Clark because he's the most.
Sorry.
he's the guy that will go all the way into this conversation, and you'll be there sitting there like.
I don't know, man. I just
don't say I don't know. Be real. Be honest now.
No, I mean, like, it's kind of funny how there's a pandemic every time a new technology comes out. So Wi-Fi came out, swine flu. What else came out? It's kind of weird. Kind of funny. You're gonna kill me. It's kind of funny. If you look it up, it's kind of funny. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. 4G came out, and then SARS came out. SARS was crazy, and it's funny because this whole COVID thing, COVID has SARS in it, and I don't know. I'm not even gonna get in. I don't want to get in too far because most people are like, "Oh, you're crazy." I'm like, bro, this doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me why, the market crashes every 10 years, but I don't on like clockwork every 10 years. This time it's about 12 years. It took a little bit longer.
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah, 2008. So it's kind of weird how, now this time it took 12 years, but every time before then, the market crashes every 10 years like clockwork. Like,
not gonna lie, I agree with. That I agree with.
So it's kind of, things like that I question, and it just leads deeper down the rabbit hole, so I don't want to.
So what's your take on Bill Gates?
Bill Gates, with him, his foundation was funded by the WHO, which is on halt for now, until a certain somebody, and I know it's not going to be Trump, He's not going to get elected again. Most people think he is. I know he's not, but I'm not going to get into that because it's all about money.
Though.
Yeah.
So let me just jump off from Bill Gates to Trump. Why don't you think Trump will be elected again?
Well, he fit a certain purpose. So his purpose was to have everybody, and it's about money to me because like aside from my work and what I do foreign exchange. So you see a lot of things behind the scenes that most people don't know. So like right now, the biggest thing right now that they're trying to distract everybody from is cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency right now, which is XRP, I don't know if you heard of a little bit of, Bitcoin and so forth.
Yeah.
I just invested in that.
Kind of might want to, I'm going to say something. Yeah, but I invested in Ripple. But the reason why is because I just recently found out who is behind Bitcoin. But I don't know if you know who Daniel Pena is. Daniel Pena is basically a trillionaire. And those guys are in a different tax bracket. He's an old guy, so he doesn't care what he says. He recently just came out and said, if you find out who's behind Bitcoin, you would take all of your money out of it. Then in another video, he reveals who's behind it. I don't know if I should even say the person's name on here.
You already started this shit, so you might.
Yeah. But I didn't say the name. But it's the leader, Putin. Basically, Putin is the mastermind behind it. What better way to infiltrate our financial system by using Bitcoin? The funny part is that you have Congress, right? Congress is talking about while this COVID is going on, and you know how they're setting out stimulus payments. Right. They're talking about relieving the debt for liquidity because there's a liquidity crisis right now. That's the real deal behind all of this. It's liquidity. So the only way to get rid of the failing financial system, which was failing the whole time, and how they raised the debt ceiling. The only reason why they raise the debt ceiling every year is based off of how many people are born. Your social security number is paying off the debt. Let me knock straight off. That's how they're able to raise the debt ceiling. So aside from that, like you have guys like Steve Minuchin. You know who Steve Minuchin is, right?
Heard of.
Yeah, he's the Secretary of the Treasury. So that guy appoints cryptocurrency CVO, which is Ripple, that guy, to oversee all of the banks in America. While everybody's worrying about COVID, these are the moves that are being made under our nose. And it's plain as day. But that's just, people say it's a conspiracy, and Trump played a role in that. So he's doing that. He appointed Judy Shelton. Judy Shelton is the head of the Treasury. And she's the one who says that we need a gold standard. But the gold needs to back a cryptocurrency. Now, XRP, which is Ripple Industries, if you look forward and look into that, Ripple Industries is in partnership, just officially got in partnership with the Treasury, which basically got an approval from Congress. It goes deep, man. It just keeps on going.
So you don't think that just me asking, right? Do you believe the American population would want to bring in a new president in the middle of a war? Because I consider this like a war, right?
Fact.
So do you think that they would want a guy like Biden to come in and be like, all right, you're going to be my new guy to lead us to the, to the finish line in the middle of a war? Do you think the Americans are going to be like, well, fuck it, this guy already, he's in it. He's already been going through it. We kind of like trust him. We don't trust him. But to stop all that and bring a new guy in, this might really fuck us up, because that might happen, right? It could go either way. Not that I'm a Trump supporter or I'm a Biden supporter. I'm honestly, I don't give two shits about none of them.
I know.
It ain't gonna make me a difference. I'm still gonna be in my house until they say I can get the fuck out of here. So,
exactly.
But my thing is, like, how do you bring in a new person while this is going on to take care of the war, right? Yeah. How?
For me, I think people would be like, they want a new face in the office. And I know what you're saying, because they're comfortable with that president in office. They're like, oh, okay, like.
But do you really think that people want him out?
I think people are starting to open their eyes and starting to like Trump for what he's doing. And I'm not going to lie, I see that. But from what I'm seeing, he's doing what he's supposed to do as far as with the market. He brought it up. right? Well, they think he
manipulated it right.
It's really not him. Well, yeah, go ahead.
He's manipulating it the right way, though.
Yeah, manipulating it the right way. My take on it is that the market started crashing, right? It went back up, but in the end, it still has to go down. Mm-hmm. So what do they do every time the market goes down? And at this point, the elections are coming up. Biden is a Democrat.
Right.
They always blame the crash on a Democrat. It's proven every single time. And Biden, I know the way he thinks is like, people are like, oh, they don't want that Democrat in office. But the way he thinks, and they tie him to Obama. So they're going to be okay, you know what? Since he's tied to Obama, we're going to bring him in because, he kind of reminds us of Obama. Even though he said some stuff that recently that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? What he just said with Charlemagne, which was crazy. I was like, man. But what's crazy?
I didn't hear that. What he said?
Well, he's like,
I'm gonna let you say that.
Yeah. Oh, you know about that? Yeah.
I did. I'm just not gonna be the one to say it.
I'll say it. He said, oh, if you don't vote for me, then basically you're not black. That's what he said. Because he's expecting all the black people to vote for him.
He did say that. He didn't basically.
Yeah, he did say that. I'm sorry. He did say that.
No,
he has the past history saying stuff like this. You know that, right? He has a past history, like being kind of racist.
But the thing is that, these people are – the thing is with that is, like, I see it as if somebody's straightforward, especially that's political, it's like people start to end up liking it, like Trump. And I'd say people starting to like Trump. People of different colors. People who said they would never like him are starting to like him.
You know what it's about Trump?
He's keeping it real, though.
Yeah.
What it is about Trump is that he's saying things that the public wants to say but can't say.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
It's cool to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and the first thing you want to go look at your phone to see the bullshit he said. Man, the hell with these people. It's entertaining, right? This is a straight up reality show for a lot of people, and then the culture that we're in is built off these phones and on the public eye and how fun shit can be and what's the ugly narrative that these people are putting out, right?
Yeah.
He is the perfect guy for that because he's the one that can say fuck you and people are gonna laugh and like, oh, he's crazy. Well, let's see who says something back to him. It's like the losing dog, man, but he's actually winning because he goes home laughing. Like there was the most illest shit yesterday when he's like he didn't want to wear a mask so the newscasters can't take pictures of him. So he wanted to come in front of him without a mask. I'm like, you're doing shit to get get the giggles, but get people talking. And that's what he's so good at. He's good at ruffling the feathers and then just playing. And he's like that big bully in the school that you want to punch in the face. But you're like, I wonder who he's going to pick on today.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Super crazy.
It is crazy, man. And it's like, but also, he's helping a lot of entrepreneurs because, of course, he's an entrepreneur, so he's helping himself, really. So, yeah, and I see that cutting taxes down to 21% instead of 31 or 36, if I believe, or 30. I forgot what percent, but it was in the 30s. It's pretty high. He cut that, but for me, I think since Biden is tied to Obama, and then there may be hype around Obama being vice president, or I don't think he can go for vice president.
He can't. I don't know if he can, but he's from my understanding, they're trying to get a woman to.
He can work in office, but he can't be like a president or anything. Like he could be like a, what is it, the consultant
like
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that he said that they wanted a woman, and I know he was like, "Oh, well, I could get Michelle Obama to be, my vice president."
Her name was ringing around. Yeah.
I'll be surprised if Trump becomes president again. I mean, that's just my take on it. But I think the only reason why he would is because the plan for cryptocurrency, which I see what's happening. Oh, especially with that Real ID. I know I brought up the Real ID thing because my brother, he lives in California, and you have to have this ID called I think you probably heard of it, right, Phil?
Is it the one that they're doing with the one that they got in China with the checks? Either it's green or red, and they have the face recognition stuff. Is it that stuff?
I don't know about that. I know it's an ID. Like when you go get your driver's license, they also give you another ID. It's called Real ID.
Oh wow, no.
Yeah, they have that. So from what I heard, it's gonna be deeper than just. From what I heard, it's gonna go from state to state, and everybody's gonna have it.
Wow.
But yeah, but there's a lot of
What is
stuff
that supposed to do?
I mean, from what I heard, it's gonna have like your debit card on there. That's what I heard. I don't know from the future because no one really uses it right now. It's kind of weird.
All right,
weird
somebody from The Simpsons made this up, okay? Because this is like, I mean, The Simpsons predicted everything.
Feels like, what did I get myself into tonight?
Hey man, we want to. But you know,
my brother has it.
You want to know the crazy shit is that people want to hear this type of stuff, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could talk and giggle about the parties and this, but it's also good to get interactive and touch in different situations that is real. What you said is real life shit that we're going through. Regardless of the fact, we got to live through it. If it's Obama, if it's Biden, if it's Trump, one of these guys have to be a president, right? So we're not going nowhere no time soon. So we got to deal with the shit for the next 4 years, and then the next 4 years, and the next 4 years. So it's good to learn about these type of things, especially in our culture, because our culture doesn't like talking the politics.
Exactly. They don't like voting either.
It's not cool. You know what I'm saying? This ain't what we're supposed to be doing. We ain't supposed to go vote and talk about politics, but this is now our new normal. Our new normal is about getting shit across and talking about business and entrepreneurship and creative and politics and sports and girls, and this is the new norm, and it's actually enlightening to see from all different cultures and races and ethnicities that we all could talk about the same basis, and at the end of the day leave peacefully, because people always start beefing about politics. Nah, you're wrong, this, that. Nah, this is just open forum, and it's a good platform for people to interject and talk about their thoughts.
Yeah,
absolutely. Everybody has a point of opinion, so I don't think opinions necessarily have to be correct or incorrect.
Right.
We're not in Congress, so I don't think we can either stand on a politically correct standpoint anyways, because what happens behind closed doors is far beyond what we could probably imagine anyways.
Yeah, it's kind of, but
I'm pretty neutral.
I'm just like, I'm not for any Republican, I'm not for any Democrat. I just like to navigate the system. That's just me. That's what what I've been taught from somebody that's way older than me. So like, I listen to him because before I never used to listen to him, and I was like, whatever. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about that. And they say ignorance is bliss. So I'm like, I don't want to hear about it, And then it's like when I open up my mind, they say once your mind expands, it can't contract. Because now you're like, okay, shit, I got to keep looking at this.
Curiosity.
Look into this.
Curiosity,
Yeah, so it's like with that, and like the whole Real ID thing, like my brother has one, he had to get one because he lives in California. So it's like, why is this happening? Like,
I'm gonna ask my brother now.
Yeah, my brother has.
He's in San Diego.
Ask him. The funny thing is that my brother didn't tell me until my other brother who lived there, he moved back before he had to get one. And I was like, what the hell is it for? They're like, I don't know. They're just like, we just had to get one because we live here. It's required. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
Don't know what the hell it is, but aside from that, man, I wanted to ask you, Phil, like how, like, I know you're an entrepreneur, and like, as far as with me, like I had like a little travel business through network marketing, and I met a lot of people. Like, has anybody given you any ideas of like, or like you ran through like a venue somewhere, and that person did something, you're like, oh man, that just sparked your mind and you wanted to go ahead and pursue that? Or like,
I think it's crazy, right? So like when I talk to different people, I some way try to find out and how I can help. Like, how can I be an asset to you in any kind of way? Sometimes this is something that you just want to do on your own, but I always try to give my input and some advice, because everyone has great ideas now. You know what I mean? It's how can you implement yourself, or maybe create something to help them out to make it bigger than what it is. So yeah, I definitely hear all the time.
Super dope. I don't know if you guys heard about the contract Joe Rogan just signed.
No.
Oh, yeah, he just what is it, like $100 million with Spotify? They paid him $100 million for it, and they're only licensing his podcast for like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, look, I like it.
Yeah, he don't even need the money. He just did it because he's trying to because podcast is a new thing now. He's trying to stampede for me to take charge.
That's it. The podcast game is it.
Yeah. So yeah,
a lot of money in podcast.
Yeah, he just cut checks. So now there's gonna be a podcast war. Watch. It's gonna be what? Google, Apple, Spotify. They're gonna try to catch everybody. Like, who's the best podcast, and they try to bring them to their platform.
Wow.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like dope.
Go ahead, Clark.
Yeah, with promoting, like, do you feel like, or have you gotten any like contacts from like overseas where they want to have you do parties and so forth like that? Wow.
Yeah, I've been a few times to London. We've done parties in London. We went one of my man DJ Stevie J. We went to Dubai. We did a big event out there, and we've always got contracted to do events out the country, but that's definitely something big to do because overseas loves America. They love American culture. Like they want all the hip hop is huge everywhere. Now with what's going on now, I don't know how difficult it's going to be to restart all those conversations, but I think by next year everybody's going to be up and running and like bigger than ever because Europe did take a big hit, China took a major hit, all these other countries have been suffering as much as we have, but I feel like these people are going to want to party sooner than later. So
yeah, it's gonna go crazy. They're gonna
go crazy.
Oh yeah, man, that's crazy. Like, how was Dubai? That sounds like man.
You want to hear the crazy shit? Is that we flew? It was like 14 hours. We were 14 hours in the air.
Oh.
We were like 14, 15 hours in the air. We got off straight to the party. We stayed there we were there for one day. And we were back on the plane for 15 hours. So we were in the air more than we were actually sitting in Dubai.
That's crazy.
That was a wild experience. We came back. We didn't know what was going on in our life. We were like, shit, But it was a fun experience. Super fun.
That is so cool.
Was Dubai the experience that everybody make it seem to be? Or
I mean, I wish we got to go and experience what everyone shows. We were just there to work. We were there. We hung out in the hotel. We got some food, and we're like, all right, back to the airport type of vibe. Like, it was just straight work. But I'm definitely going back because I definitely want to be able to experience everything that they were.
I was supposed to go this summer, and obviously that's not happening. So.
You go like you right now.
I know, right? Fly Emirates real quick.
But London is dope too. We were in London a few times. London is a really cool vibe too.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, London I heard is really nice, man. And then I know their hip hop culture is coming up too also. So that's
yeah.
So you think that you'll be promoting over there a lot more when everything clears up?
Yeah, I would love to. We have a lot of good relationships, even in Canada. Canada's super dope. Like, we've been to Canada. We were there for All-Star when it was Canada.
Patricia's from Canada, Rose. A girl of mine, she's a makeup artist over there in Miami, and she's from Montreal.
It's beautiful out there. Canada's.
That's what she tells me. She says it's gorgeous. The people there seem so nice, too. I've met a few people from Canada.
Yeah, Canada's a super nice place to be at. I mean, they're about the culture is super big out there. Super big. Especially with Drake. Drake definitely
Drake, yeah.
6.
Make it.
Oh, you worked with them before?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Nice.
Good dudes.
What's your thoughts on the whole 6ix9ine situation going on right now?
It's sad that a young kid like him got caught up in the wrong situation, and I forgot what's that saying? You make your bed, you lay in it.
Yeah,
type of thing. Well, he made his bed, and now he has to lay in it.
Well, he's making it. People supporting him.
But if you look at the people that supporting him, right? So check this out. You have the 25 and younger that support him, right? Mm-hmm. They don't know what snitching is. They don't have no idea. They don't know that lifestyle. They don't know that there is.
This generation doesn't in general.
They really don't. They don't know. They don't know. But the 25 and older, right? They do know what that means. Snitching and ratting on people and all that. That
we've grown into that type of stuff, right? These young kids don't know what that means. They don't know that there's any wrong into that. They just think he's a cool ass kid with some cool music, and they're gonna continue following him. Now, if everybody stops supporting him, there's no more 6ix9ine. It's over, right? But these kids are gonna continue supporting, and for what it is, it's not my cup of tea. I don't like talking about it because it's not. I don't condone it.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah,
I don't
That's a
condone
big
it. But
no in my household and my family.
It's a big no, but you know what? This kid is going to continue putting out content. It's almost in your face, even if you don't want to listen to him or you just want to. He's like Trump. Swear to God. People are like, I want to see what he's going to do. What's next? What can he say? Who is he going to beef with? What shit is he going to be talking? Because it becomes entertainment. It's just straight entertainment now. But you fall for the fuckery though. Like, damn, man, I can't believe I'm looking at this damn kid. Isn't it? It's bad. So
and you know what's so crazy is that like, just recently too, because I was watching the background of the Goodfellas, and what's his name? I forgot his name. He actually ratted too, and he came out and said it, and he was walking the streets like nothing happened. I was like,
I love that movie though.
Yeah, Goodfellas, that was one of my favorites. But yeah, him, and then you have Alpo who came out, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got you heard about that story, right? Alpo? Yeah. He's out on the streets and he snitched, but nobody's come running to him. And then not only that, then you go ahead. You're gonna say something.
It's just I guess the times are different and the people are different and the situations are different, right? Like, I'm not too in tune. I don't really know the whole story between the Alpo. I know he had, from what I heard, it was like he had ratted on his competition, from what I heard. So he was just taking out his competition. He was just being a businessman at that point, right? But, I don't like talking about shit that I don't know nothing about. That's because true. Then I get caught up in bullshit like, damn, but
Yeah.
Right. Why'd you go saying something?
Yeah, that's true. I hear you.
It ain't for me. I don't know. I don't like soda.
I hear
Would you, if he was to contact you guys and say he wants to headline your event or something like that, would you let 6ix9ine headline it?
Nah. And let me.
Yay, I like him now.
let me tell you what it is though, right? So, about 4 years ago, 6ix9ine was one of our first models for DM for our clothing line. Mm-hmm. Right? Wow, we known him since he was a young kid, right? He was a superstar in Europe. If you go back to his YouTube, he was in the real like rock hip hop. Like he was crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, he was dope, right?
I seen it. I seen his.
He was a superstar there. I don't know the transitioning and how it became him to come into the States, and he didn't need it. In other words, I don't think he ever needed it. And back then, it was dope. 6ix9ine, he's a name. He's blowing up. It was cool at that moment. But then when all this shit happened, it's like, you put the brakes and you're like, you don't want to be part of it. Let it just ride out on its own, and then whatever happens, I mean, good luck to him. That's
where I think all his support is coming from. Really, is from Europe. Like, us in America, we could stop listening to him. He's still gonna be popping,
right? And a lot of people don't get it, but it's just. We're so immune to bullshit, right? And this phone fucks life up so bad. This phone, man, and it's incredible that this phone rules a lot of our lives, right? You start now. I remember back in the day, you wake up and you want to go to the bathroom, you want to go whatever, get some breakfast. Now you turn over and you grab your phone for the first thing. Let me see what these people are talking about real fast. Look at my timeline, and it's all bullshit on my timeline. And then you fall in victim and, here goes the video of 6ix9ine talking shit about this guy. And then you want to go to the next person's video. And next thing you know, you're 2 hours in the phone. You haven't even got out of bed. And, think about it. On the phone, you get the weather. You can order food, your laundry. You could drive a car. You could fucking travel. You can do everything. Yeah. You can do everything on the damn phone now. You don't got to do no work.
That is so true. Yeah, man.
It's super weird.
It is.
What's next? What's next?
Are you gonna have your son like go out more instead of like stay home inside all the time? Like, cause them kids like nowadays, the younger generation, PlayStation, online, and YouTube videos, and
He's only 2 though, right? He's a
Right,
baby.
No, I'm talking about like later on. Come on.
So like right now, I of course he wasn't in school, but he's been getting homeschooled since he got out of school. So I have a teacher that comes here every day, and you know, and I wanted him to still have the comfort of learning, right? Because I didn't want him to forget about learning at such a young age, right? So he still puts his uniform in the morning. He goes to his room, and I got the teacher over there with him, so he still gets like a whole curriculum. But you know, now moving forward into like, you know, later on in his life, I definitely want to be able to teach him the rights and wrongs. You know, what's good, what's bad, and I want to do it from early. I don't want to wait too long to be like, no, that's not the right thing to do. But I also want to learn that he can make his own choices, right? And I think a lot of people make choices for their children. I don't want to be one of those parents. I want to be able, my son to be able, like, Dad, I want to try this. What do you think? You know, and I want to be able to give him my input. Of course,
I think that's very important too.
Yeah.
To have that open line of communication, because they feel, you know, there's a difference between being their friend and being their parent, but I think that there is also a fine line of being too much of a parent and not allowing them to showcase who they really are and what their character is, you know. And I think that's when kids start to rebel and start to kind of be secretive and, you know, things like that. So I think obviously there is a good balance, but I do think that you do have to allow your kid to have an opinion, to speak up, to really express who they are, be who they want to be, and pass no judgment by that. You know, I don't know, I have a really good relationship with my kids too, so I feel like that's a big thing, you know. Like, I want them to be able to talk to me about things that go on at school and, you know, things that go on with their friends, or like sometimes my son will come and be like, you know, oh, look at what somebody sent me. And I may not agree with it, you know, and I'm going to tell him, okay, we're going to block this or delete this, but I still appreciate the notion of him being receptive enough to tell me these things, you know, and not be like, oh, I got to like hide it, or not be open about it. Or, you know, my daughter comes and tells me all the drama from school. And I think you do have to hear about it, because you never know, these kids bully. And if you start to shut them out, that's when they don't come to you. And you've got these kids committing suicide and doing all these things and dealing with it all internally. And it's like, you as a parent, you're wondering, well, why did they react this way? Why did they do this? But it's like, you're not really building a relationship to get to know your child, to kind of reach this standard that sometimes I think us as parents hold them to. So I feel like you have to kind of balance that and realize, like, they are not you, you know, everyone has a milestone and a stepping stone, and you kind of have to give them that chance to get there without hovering over them, you know, what you're doing wrong and what you can't do. And what, you know, I think they can do anything they put their mind to. So no, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and I think that's very important, especially now. Like, it's been dope that I got to stay home and I didn't get to miss anything in the last 2.5 months, right? So usually when a normal day, he goes to school and we go about our lives, and we see him when he comes back from school, and it's eat and go to school, right? Now I've actually got to spend 24 hours a day, and it's so crazy to see like cartoons he likes, certain toys he wants to talk to, and now he's starting to learn like more, you know, even his laugh changes, and I didn't get to miss none of that. Those are the cool things as now being a parent, that you don't miss out, that you're like, oh, you're glad that you caught it during this time. Because imagine if you didn't get to catch those type of things, you'd be like, damn, I wish I would have known this about my child, blah blah blah.
Exactly.
But you know, as they grow up, you want to be as much involved with them in every aspect, because you know the world is changing every day, right? And the technology is changing every day, and kids are changing every day. You were talking about bullying. That's the real shit. Like, you know, bullying is that's going to go away. It's always going to be there. But if there's open line of communication, your child could always talk to you about it, or to a teacher, and it's all right for them to talk to you and be like, hey, I'm going through this transition or this problem. I need some help.
Exactly.
You know? And I think it's super important. Super important.
I know, I'm super big on that.
All right, let's wrap this up. This is a great conversation. Thanks for coming on, Phil. Hopefully we can meet in person.
It's been great having you.
And hopefully we can do a part 2 later.
I'm gonna meet you one of these days, because I'm going to go to LIV. Just saying.
Listen, you gotta come over.
I'm going to go. We're all gonna go, actually, guys. We're gonna go together.
You gotta meet me by the bridge.
I got you. But we gotta get to the top so we close to the clouds, you know?
You're in the clouds, so you straight. Don't worry about it. We're good. We're gonna get some cryptocurrency. We're gonna learn.
Definitely.
We got everything. We're gonna have another meeting. Don't worry about it.
All right. Hey, let's go. I'm ready.
Nah, man. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate you, man. We're glad to have you, man. You could have been doing all types of other things, but yeah, you came and you saw us. And
for the culture, man. For the culture.
Most definitely.
Thank you, man. For the Culture Podcast, guys.
All right. For the culture.